Good morning. You're back. We're back. The morning roast with Irving, the man, the myth, the legend. Derrick.
GB, yes.
Anthony, Gary behind the board. Here live at Roasted Cafe and Lounge.
Downtown Macon,
Downtown Macon, 905.
Angie, Hanny, and James back.
Yeah, Jamie just came on in. We introduced you to them yesterday.
Time to get your tasty sandwiches.
Yeah, they will. Exactly. And we want to say hi to everybody. We got 11 viewers going. We got some people in the chat looking good. Thanks, you guys, for hanging in there and letting us know what you think. And Scarioki's out there. Hey, Ed. Hey, Cindy. Scarioki, you saw what I said about I'm still not wanting to ban anybody. I know what you're getting at about the whole, if they get too vulgar, then the blog TV is not going to put us on. That's fine. But you know what? My thing is just ignore them, Let them live out their little childish fantasies and, because we're all about, huh?
Oh.
On the chat, we had some people coming in trolling and just basically just cursing and saying some vulgar things. But I'm all about freedom of speech. I mean, Scarioki comes on and he's one of the admins. And he wanted to go ahead and boot him off this thing, and I'm telling him, don't do that. We're not worried about that. But we're back here. Like I said, it's about 6 after the hour of 9 o'clock. We're hitting on our second hour. We're scheduled to have Bobby Gale, State Senate 26, Republican candidate, come on and sit with us for as long as he wants to sit with us. The music that was bringing us back in from this break was by a local group, Zavi. Say hi to them. That's Zach, Dustin, Steven, and Clark. Great music, great bands, great guys.
Great guys.
Check them out. And that was from their first EP. They got a new one out, but they play a lot around town. They have done some touring up and down the East Coast. So guys, we were just getting into it. We were getting into it before the break.
What was the last topic?
Oh, well, we were talking about the Romney thing, which we don't have to stick on that. We agree to disagree, or maybe we don't agree to disagree. But basically, I just wanted to kind of move on to some more local news.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Macon City Council met. They always have their meetings on Tuesday, and they finally set their rules on video poker machines.
And
well, let me tell you, the City Council approved new restrictions on the video poker machines, and the vote was 12-2, and it was an ordinance.
What are the restrictions?
Well, let me get to it, brother. But the ordinance is as strict as the state allows, which I've already got a problem with this, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The sponsor of this ordinance was Virgil Watkins, who, was absent.
He was here.
Well, yeah, no, but he was absent from the meeting, and it was the plan he sponsored. So, that kind of someone I think represents Macon's politics also. I mean, unless he had an emergency, but I don't know.
He was here.
Virgil can come on and, defend himself.
I invited him already.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, the two that voted, the two no's, were our friend Elaine Lucas and Council President James Timley, and they voted against it. Huh? 12-2. That's how it won. 12-2. Two voted against it. Okay. Lucas, though, she said that she wanted to make it clear that she does not endorse gambling, but the reason she could not vote in favor of this ordinance was because none of the owners of businesses were invited to this discussion. So she, I don't agree with much of what she says, or many of them, but she's got a point there.
And huge.
And also, she just did not want us. She could not support, as she put it, a feel-good law.
I like that.
Thomas Ellington, who represents this downtown area, parts of this downtown area, along with Schlesinger, Rabbi Larry, he said the new laws allow and invite all to show some local regulation and restoration of the gaming machines. Ellington's always talking very professional and very, he's a numbers guy, works at the Wesleyan College, I believe. But this Irving is this is what the ordinance said. Businesses can have no more than 9 video poker machines or similar machines. They must be in plain view in sight.
Good.
Of once you come into the business. They must report their monthly earnings to the city's business license office, and their earnings cannot be more than half of the total income of their store. Okay, so that's the gist of it.
That's good.
We had local businessman Carlton Pitts, and he came and he endorsed the idea apparently before they actually voted on it. He stood up and spoke about it, and he said that he grew up watching these activities in East Macon at these shops and convenience stores. And he just thinks that it draws gamers at these odd hours of the night And if you're coming out, according to this guy, this Pitts guy, if you're coming out that late at night, you're unlikely to be playing by the rules. So, and he goes on to say, realistically, who goes into a store for fun at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning? So my take, and then I'll let you guys come in. Okay. Again, I'm the guy, and some of you might agree, I want to bring casinos to Macon. I think again, just like the drug laws, just like the prostitution laws, and all these sort of things, I think it's personal choice. Okay, if you want to gamble and you want to take your money, no matter how hard earned it is, and you want to attempt and risk to gamble with it at any kind of poker, roulette, video poker, whatever, that's your right. It's not a place for government to step in and tell you how to spend your money, just like it's not your place, their place to tell people who, if they want to pay people for sex or whether they want to put something in their body that's detrimental.
Right.
I just think, of course, to begin with, it's stupid to have an ordinance, but of course, you know, I'm living in a utopia. I'm living in John Galt land or whatever, you know. But my whole thing is that what this Pitts guy says, I'm taking umbrage. I'm taking umbrage to this. Thomas Matthews just walked in.
Thomas?
Thanks, Thomas. Actually, I mentioned you earlier on the show the last hour, but he might join us regular downtown here. Has an antique business, acquires antiques and stuff, sells them online.
On the show.
Does pretty good. We'll let him promote that in a minute.
Definitely.
But my problem is with this Pitts guy. And he's entitled to his opinion, but he goes on to say, who goes out at 1 or 2 in the morning to have fun? Well, why not? I mean, are we under such a sort of assumption nowadays because normal people go to bed when it gets dark that maybe other people that's their work hours? They sleep during the day because they work at night. So what if a guy or gal's going in at 1 or 2 in the morning in a shop because that's their lunch break at work because they work the night shift? I mean, I don't buy that this guy's living in this sort of prehistoric mentality that only legitimate people are up in the daylight hours. Everybody up at night when it's dark is up to no good. I mean, isn't that sort of just presumptuous of the guy to say if you're going into a store at 1 or 2 in the morning, it's unlikely that you're going in there for good reasons or honest reasons? I mean, come on.
When I used to work at a local television station, I had the early graveyard shift from 1 a.m. to 11 a.m. So sometimes I'll go to Walgreens or whatever grocery store at 1 o'clock in the morning or 1:45, get a little snacks because I have a long shift. So I mean, it's not necessarily you have some ulterior motive. That's the time when you get off. Now, I can't say for the people who broke in my house 6 years ago, took my washing machine and refrigerator and stuff. But
where the hell were you?
At work, middle of the night. I mean, but crime, especially in Macon, which is apparently like up in the top 10 and number 7 in the nation for crime. Crime's going to happen regardless of the time of day, and that's obvious. But
it was during the Labor Day weekend, so people thought
that's true. But I just think if people want to gamble, let them gamble. It's their money. They earned it one way or the other, whether it's ill-gotten means, whatever. They've earned it, and I just don't think it's anybody's place to tell people. And again, it goes back. If it becomes a problem to the person's family life, they're gambling the money away, and therefore they're not feeding their family. The wife is mad at home. Again, though, it comes down to a personal matter. The wife or whoever has to make the decision to maybe leave the guy because he's wasteful and he's blowing all their money and he's got a gambling problem. But for the government to ever step in and tell people how you can spend your money, what you can put in your body, who you can have sex with, you know what I'm getting at? Whether you wear a seatbelt or not, this is all crimes that only possibly hurts the person. Or so-called crimes that only hurt the person that's doing them.
That's not true.
That is true.
No.
Okay, talk about the video.
Wearing seatbelts.
It doesn't hurt anybody else.
Yes, it does. If you grab a class,
it hurts you.
It hurts you, and it hurts the other person because the other person not wearing that seatbelt, you don't teach him.
But the seatbelt's not keeping you from driving in a Mario Andretti sort of way.
So anti-everything.
No, but Irvin, it's a personal thing. If you want to wear a seatbelt, if I don't wear a seatbelt and wreck, me not wearing a seatbelt's not going to hurt Gary, who's in another car.
Let's go back to this man.
Well, I wanted you to, but it all.